Welcome, guys, to the 34th episode of the Dapper Gaming Podcast. With me, as always, Tyler. He's that way. And below us, Dex the Swede, special guest.
Hello, hello.
Thank you for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me here.
It's always great to have guests. The show works much better with guests.
Yeah.
I would assume so, yeah.
Then we can make them entertain us.
Well,
and
we can say usually does.
usually. What was it? The first guest that we had after we rebranded this podcast from something else got like blackout drunk and passed out in the middle of the show.
Really?
Yeah, it was hilarious. Because he just woke... well, it wasn't so funny at the time. I was pretty mad, actually. Because, like, he was, like, mumbling in his sleep and, like, woke up randomly at one point and just started, like, screaming about World of Warcraft and how that's a great game. It's just like, God damn it. Why are you here? What are you doing with yourself?
Oh, man, that's amazing.
So, I guess... How about you introduce yourself? Tell us a little about yourself.
All right. I am Dex the Swede on YouTube. I make stupid video game reviews, which shouldn't be classified as reviews. They're more like I choose a game, I talk about it, I'm trying to be goofy and trying to come up with stupid jokes that are even funny. And yeah. Even if they're not funny, people seem to like it anyway.
You do like the whole comedy review thing.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole JonTron thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to
that like every person does. It's like everyone's like JonTron, or they're super serious business.
The funny thing is, all of people have mentioned that. I even met a guy at PAX Prime who came up to me and was like, "Yeah, you're Dex the Swede." And I'm not that popular enough to like get people to notice me, but it was this one guy who noticed who I am, and the first thing he said was like, "Hey, you're Dex the Swede, right? Yeah. Some like advice." I'm like, okay. You tend to like takes have like shaky captions like JonTron. I'm like, yeah, I'm still finding my own style. So yeah, what I can say is that I'm no different. The only like unique thing I can say about myself is that I'm Swedish. I'm not PewDiePie, but I'm Swedish. And I think the only thing I can say that is unique about my show is that I use a lot of modern slapstick. Because I'm just in love with modern slapstick. Not like this Looney Tunes kind of slapstick, but more like, I don't know what you can call it. I just call it modern slapstick because that's the only way I can put it into a different category than Looney Tunes and other cartoons.
Yeah, I watched a few of your videos on the weekend. I like the Jedi Knights Academy one because I like Jedi Knights Academy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is great. I like this game. Like, for me, watching videos on YouTube, there's like a few people that I enjoy watching consistently, but like for the whole review thing, I'm not really like subbed to anyone because I just like check their channels. Like, they did a game I like, and then I watch that. Like, I don't feel like there's anyone that I'm totally captivated with that like does the whole YouTube review thing, or at least like the comedy bit. Because
I understand that. I was pretty much the same like before I started. Like as soon as I started my second channel, this is actually my second channel. If you
you did like voice acting stuff on the first one,
like,
right?
Yeah, and I started this one, and as soon as I did, like I released after my second video, my second or third video. I got to like talk to a lot of different people, and who also made game reviews. So I don't know. I got sort of stuck with them, like watching them as well. Not in a negative way though, but like before I started the channel, I didn't watch like anyone. The only ones I watched was like JonTron, Peanut Butter Gamer, and I just started watching like Pro Jared right before I started my channel, and then after my channel, I got a stockpile of 50 different people to watch or something. But yeah, it's pretty weird when I think about it. But yeah, they're all my friends and they're awesome.
Yeah, there's like this sort of community, I guess, of YouTube gamers that
Yeah.
I know exists only because, do you know Justin Silverman, Silvermania Show, and Underbelly?
Yeah, I know who those people are. Yeah, I don't watch them that much, but I know who they are. Yeah.
I help Justin do some like voice acting stuff, and he's been on the podcast a couple times, and like him and I talk a lot. Him and Jarrett and I talk a lot, and so like that's how I met Cat Icarus was like in a Skype call when I was helping like Justin record something for a video that he didn't do because it turned out just fucking like terribly. Like I stopped recording like pretty much, and it was like 10 gigs of just like screen caps, and he's just like, just delete it. It's fucking awful. I'm like, yeah, I didn't want to send you 10 gigs either, and he's like, yeah, there was nothing worthy. But like that's how I got to know like Caddy, and then he came on the podcast like months ago at this point, and then obviously you're here now because I asked him if he knew anyone, and then I got like 20 messages. I was just like, oh my god, so many people.
Yeah, I don't know. I recently got to talk to him like a week ago, like for the first time. He's a really nice guy. And he said like as soon as we started talking, he was like, "Thank God you're in the same time zone as me."
Yeah,
Almost.
I like try to ask Caddy stuff. Fucking like impossible because he's like 8 hours ahead. So it's like I get home at like 3. It's 11 o'clock there. I'm like, you're online on Skype. Ask a question. 3 days later, it's like, I didn't see your message because I was asleep. It's like, damn it.
Yeah, there are a lot of times like that because most of my friends are from either America or Canada, especially my like game review buddies, and I have to stay up really late just to talk to those people. But then again, I can do that, so.
Yeah, I'm not so into the staying up really late to talk to people. I have to do that sometimes for work. Like,
Oh yeah.
I work in a computer lab, and we work with people from like all across the country. But sometimes we need to like talk to a psych department from a university that's like in Europe or Asia. It's just like, let's stay up until 3 in the morning so I can phone these people at their like afternoon. It's like, nice. I like to stay up until 3 in the morning to talk for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
I mean, I do it just because I don't have anything better to do.
I've got work
really
at like
don't.
I've got to get up in a few hours after that though. That's why
Yeah,
I'm not so happy about it.
yeah, it's true.
So what have you guys been doing this week? What have you been playing, Tyler? Counter-Strike?
Yeah, I think it's Operation Bravo came out. That new pay-to-play type deal.
Yeah, where you
It's
pay
like-
for like the community maps.
Yeah, and it was funny because they added cases that dropped from that, similar to I don't know if they had like specific drops for the first one.
They
'cause I don't
did.
think okay, but like so they added drops to this one, and those crates are worth like $3. And I actually got one before that sale went on. Well, like that like map set went on sale, so I actually just sold that and bought that with the money I got from the case just to see what it's about. Because usually I can't really find them in community servers at least, which kind of sucks. So I'm like, I need to play on Valve servers because they really just like cut the legs off of the community servers in this. But they're not really that fun of maps, so I'm kind of pissed about it. But because I think the coolest thing about it though is that you get a competitive score sheet that keeps track of I think your kills, your every round you play. If you get like a triple kill, quad, or an ace, Like it keeps track of your stats on that during all competitive matches. So that's pretty neat. But I don't think it really added any maps like I care for yet that I've played. So which kind of sucks, but I streamed a little bit of Left 4 Dead last night too, which was fun with some friends. Just played like three player, so that was fun. I've been playing a lot of Warframe too. I know I've talked about that before, but that game is really fun. I just can't give that game enough credit. It's it's kind of repetitive, but at the same time, it keeps it interesting.
Yeah, like the game itself is repetitive, but it's different enough from everything else there that it's still fun to play. The movement system in that game is so fucking cool because you're like a goddamn space ninja with a sword, and you jump off walls and like slide around on the floor and shit.
And if you actually get to used to that system, it's actually pretty fun. You can maneuver some pretty cool places. Like it took us 20 hours probably to realize like, oh, we can run up these kind of walls and then do backflips and shit. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. So, but like it does kind of add a different, I guess, comedic layer to the game too, because like you'll randomly like run on a wall and just get boosted somewhere like that you didn't want to go, because it's I don't know, it's kind of glitchy when that happens, because like some walls you can't run on obviously because they have curves and stuff on them, but like sometimes you do accidentally run on them and they just shoot you because you get a crazy like movement and speed boost after you launch off of a wall. So, but my friend actually bought some platinum, which is like the premium currency in that game, kind of like similar to riot points and IP points from League of Legends. So like he's got a couple cool weapons, and I mean it's not really the same aspect of pay to play as I would say like a multiplayer game would be like Blacklight, Retribution, or something like that, because you're not really pursuing anybody, you're just kind of playing.
Yeah, since it's co-op, like
it makes
buying
sense.
Weapons doesn't, I guess, hurt the game. Like it doesn't unbalance it or make it pay to win like it would if like Call of Duty all of a sudden started selling guns.
Yeah.
Like that shit would be so broken. But because this is just all co-op, like it doesn't matter.
Right, and I think they keep adding. I don't know if they keep adding more content or what, but I think recently they added these alert missions that are kind of like dailies or hourly missions that like expire after a certain amount of time. You can get pretty good drops from them, but everyone I've done so far has been really tough, and I haven't completed. So that's been kind of a bummer. But
I haven't played that game since like the closed beta the first week it launched.
Yeah.
I probably should. I want to go back and play that game because they've done so much to it. But
yeah, they definitely. It's been really nice to see that they've added a lot of little features that are just kind of like, oh, that'd be nice to have. Then you kind of just notice it after a while, like, oh, they finally added this, like little text bars at the bottom, like displaying what you picked up or certain stuff. And they've changed it to like the loadout screen a lot, to, like, because it really matters what mods you have on your gun. And I just kind of got into that. I'm like, oh crap, you can have like your A, B, C, D list for a certain gun. So if you're versing a certain enemy, you can do more damage to them. So it really makes sense. And then I don't know, you just learn a lot about the game that you don't know after playing for a while. So it's fun. But other than that, I think I played. I don't think I did. I was going to play Battlefield 4. I didn't download it yet, but I was going to play 3, and I think I might have played like a match of that.
I played Battlefield 4 this week. Unlike last week, it worked.
Yeah.
So
I've played it as well.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about it?
I okay. This is coming from someone who really disliked Battlefield 3.
Dude, that game was fucking awful. They took out
boring.
all of the things that were useful from Battlefield 2. They got rid of Commander, and I was like, well, this isn't a team game anymore, so fuck it.
Oh, thank you. You're like the first person I've heard have the same opinion.
Me
about
and like all of my
3.
friends that I play games with, like that I know in real life. I have a friend Sullivan, and he runs a team, like a competitive gaming team. Like they have a StarCraft 2 team and a League team and a Counter-Strike team. And like none of them like it because they took out everything that made the game, like, I guess, competitive and team-like. Like they took out, there's no voice comms in that game. Like what the fuck?
Alright.
There's no voice like in the game. So if you go into a squad but you didn't have like, but it wasn't like a pre-built squad from outside of the game, then there's no voice comms. So you can't like communicate with your team, and there's no commander, so you can't organize the squads. to like do
Yeah.
different things. So like everything that made Battlefield 2 and Battlefield 2142 a really amazing game, they just took out.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to say to a lot of people who try to defend Battlefield 3. Especially my friends. Me and my gaming buddies, we play like Counter-Strike and Dota 2 and now always Battlefield, but every time I try to play Battlefield 3 with them, I'm like, I can't. I just can't. I can play for one round or two, but that's about it. And but they're so like they really try to defend Battlefield 3 while I try to tell them why it's so boring.
Like
And
it's
they just
such a
won't
huge
listen to me.
it's just such a huge step back from
Yeah,
everything
exactly.
previous in the franchise
Sure,
that
sure.
it like doesn't make sense to be a good game when they're like,
Yeah.
here's all the things that made this game great, and we're just gonna put half of them in.
Yeah.
It's
Like, look, sure, the graphics are good. It still plays well, but god damn it.
yeah, it becomes like there's no team element to it anymore, and so
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
like I run around and shoot people, like
shoot people, take over this. Good. You're good to go.
like it's just about lone wolfing it and running and gunning,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it's so not Battlefield to me.
Yeah.
Just because I played so much Battlefield 2 that it's like,
Yeah.
I remember having 50 guys sitting on a hill, like, being incredibly frustrated trying to just get to the first spawn point, like the
Yeah.
first flag in Conquest, just so that we could possibly assault the enemy team.
Yeah.
And, like, everyone had to really work as, like, a team. Like, you sent, like, one
Yeah,
squad with
exactly.
snipers, like, way far left, like, crazy far up the hills.
Yeah.
Pretty much to the edge of the map to like snipe down at guys who were camping like in the city, so that
Yeah. Oh man, so amazing.
like it ended up
I-
being a real team game, and Battlefield
Yeah.
3 was just not.
Yeah, exactly. And like the squad member limit was like 6 in Battlefield 2, and while it was only 4 in Battlefield 3, and now they're stepping it up to 5 members per squad in 4, which is I don't know. Sure, it's better than 4. I mean,
Yeah, it's better than 4, but I think one of the reasons why they're not doing 6 is because there used to be 6 classes in Battlefield 2.
yeah, that's true.
They like combined medic and assault and specialist or whatever, spec ops.
Yeah.
And so like that's
Yeah.
one class now. And so now they only have 4 classes instead of the original 6. And I've
Yeah.
kind of always been disappointed that they combined medic with assault. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like
It's not really-
I mean, the spec ops in 2 seemed a little unnecessary to me.
they were the class that got C4 though. And so like
oh no, what the hell am I thinking of? Shit, what was the class? The one with the noob tube.
I think that's assault.
That's assault. Okay. Okay. The assault in Battlefield 2 wasn't, at least to me, wasn't that like necessary to use. Like you could barely hit with a noob tube, and at least, or I just suck at it. I don't know. They had a smoke grenade, right?
Yeah, but they also had
Yeah.
the best like general purpose assault rifle. Like it was
Okay.
just all around good because their weapons were better because they weren't specialized in anything but just like shooting people because they couldn't heal, they couldn't drop
Oh.
ammo.
Okay. Then I can see why.
So like
Okay.
they were supposed to be like your general purpose soldier, but now your general purpose soldier has a med kit like in
Yeah.
Battlefield 3 and 4, which I kind of don't like only because now that everyone can heal, no one heals. So it's just like
That's true.
that part is kind of frustrating.
In 3, couldn't you switch out your med kit for other things though?
Yeah, you can switch out your med kit for other stuff.
Yeah.
Good.
You had to unlock it. It was like well down the line.
The freaking unlock system in 3 was so stupid as well, especially for the jets.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
unlocks for vehicles is bullshit.
Yeah, but with the jets, like you can only like shoot them you couldn't have like homing missiles or what you call it when we drop the bombs. What are they called? We
I don't know.
just drop the whatever.
It would be like carpet bombing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you just drop a bunch of bombs.
Yeah. You'd have to unlock those, but you couldn't unlock them because you couldn't kill anything with the stuff you had for the jet at the beginning. Because
Right.
other jets would kill you before you could unlock anything or kill anyone. And it goes in a full circle. You get killed because you can't kill anyone, but you try to kill someone, but you can't because someone kills you, etc., etc. Repeat.
Yeah.
So I was like, fucking goddamn it. That's how I felt when I played it.
Vehicle unlocks were just stupid because even if you like, I could fly the jet and I could fly the helicopter, but I didn't have any of the unlocks because I didn't fly enough, so I couldn't fly. Like,
Right.
it's like you don't have what are those? They're like, I didn't have flares, so I would just fucking die.
All right, flares as well.
Because
Wait,
I
did you
didn't
have
unlock flares.
I
But it's
thought-
like,
oh, yeah,
I
you
can
couldn't
fly the
unlock-
goddamn vehicle. Give me, like,
the you couldn't unlock flares because you kept getting shot down because you didn't have flares.
yeah, it's just like, god damn it.
I don't know if in 4, at least in the beta, you can't play as a commander yet, and there are no jets. There are choppers though.
And
I
there's
mean-
that stupid goddamn boat on the Shanghai level. That boat's so OP, because, like, you can't shoot anyone who's on it, basically, and it just sits next to 2 points and fucking, like, blows everyone up.
So powerful.
Like, it's really surprisingly powerful for a boat. Because they were nothing in every other battlefield. Because it's like, haha, look at that jackass on the water. But now it's just like, oh god, the boat's coming, run!
I remember the when you first took down the skyscraper, and you were like, "Yeah, this is awesome." Not like a few days later, you're like, "Fucking don't take it down. The map is gonna look gray and ugly, and shit's gonna fly all over your face."
Yeah,
So,
I wish people would stop taking it down because
yeah. There are even
it would be like
servers.
interesting to just play with it up for more than 30 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. There are even servers like, please don't take down the skyscraper. Like, as soon as you get jump in on their server, it's the first message you get. Like, please don't take down the skyscraper, please.
The map is more interestingly designed with it there, like, as far as all of the capture points. But then it goes down, and it's just like, the capture point is on the ground. You just walk in. It's like,
Yeah, exactly. So everything becomes gray and can't tell what is what anymore. And shit will fly all over like ashes and shit. But hey, it's only the first level. There are like 9 more in the full game, right? I think so.
yeah, something like that. Oh, he's frozen.
No. He's back.
His audio's back. Oh. Come back. Come back to us.
Am I
You're so
frozen?
close.
Am I
You're
frozen?
unfrozen. There we
I'm
go.
unfrozen. Hi.
Hello.
What was the thing?
But yeah, I think there's like 10 conquest levels in the game. They
Yeah.
they added a new game mode that's just Counter-Strike.
Domination.
No, there's one where a team plants a
Liberation.
bomb at either two locations, or well, one of 2 locations, and the other team has to defuse it. And I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah. I'm in.
I'm frozen again.
Whatever. We can hear you.
Hi. Yeah, what was it? I don't remember what did you say what the game mode was called?
I don't remember what it is.
I think it's like it's not domination, no. It's
No, they had domination before, where you like just run to different points. It's basically like moving King of the Hill.
oh yeah, shit, I forgot what's not whatever.
Doesn't matter. I'm probably
yeah.
not going to play it because I don't like the
Same.
gunplay as much in Battlefield as I like it in Counter-Strike. So it's like,
Yeah.
if I want to play Counter-Strike, I'll play Counter-Strike. Like, I pretty much played Battlefield because it's like 32v32 and buildings explode and there's vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
I don't play it for infantry combat because I find that kind of boring.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. Yeah, I really disliked the third one, but I'm starting to like the fourth one a little more, and I'm interested to see how it will turn out in the full game.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait to buy it based on like the beta so far, just because they don't have the squad tools and commander tools like in the beta, and so I don't know how well they're gonna work yet. So
That's true.
I'm gonna wait on it, and if they are there, then I'll probably just like if they're good when the game launches, then I'll just buy the game. Otherwise, I'll probably wait a little while so that it's not like a $70 game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna try it. I don't think I will try it on the first like day of release, but
It probably won't even run the first day of release. Like
maybe
battle
true,
log will
yeah.
probably be down,
yeah, it's true.
just like it was last time.
Oh well. Well, now I'm starting to think I should wait a few days or something.
Did you play anything else this week? Or
I played Pokemon Y.
oh yeah, that came out yesterday. Fuck,
It came out 2 days ago for me.
did it?
Yeah, for some reason. I went to our summer house this weekend because I took it with my girlfriend. We celebrated 4 years, and
Well, congratulations.
thank you. And what was it? I knew that the game would come out like that Saturday, but I wouldn't be home for that Saturday, yesterday. And so I was like, oh, well, maybe there's a miracle that I can get it now. I checked the site and it said I could go pick it up on Friday. And I was at home then. I was like, I'm going to the store. So I got it, I played it, and I've had a happy time. Some frustrating things about it, though.
Yeah.
But those are only like some minor complaints. More like, how the hell do I get inside a freaking clothes store in that city because they keep kicking me out because I don't have the style? How can I not get a good style if I can't buy any clothes?
Who knows?
Oh man.
I'm like, I don't have a 3DS, and at this point, like the games are starting to pile up. I'm like, this close to buying one. I just got a tax return, so I was like, oh man, I got $100. I only need another $100 to get a 3DS, and like I have another $100 in my wallet sitting next to the tax return. I'm like, no, must use for food and water and heating. Do not buy 3DS. It's like, but it's so close. So I'm really torn, and I really want a new graphics card this year because I'm like 3 generations behind on graphics cards, and
oh wow, really?
It's starting to show now. Yeah, I'm still in like the 400 series for NVIDIA. So
I have a 570.
Yeah, I have two 470s, and so I was like, these need to get replaced this year. But Pokemon.
Pokemon, man. Need a Pokemon.
The only thing that's pretty much saving me right now is that, like, the Future Shop by my house. I'm in Canada, so our version of Best Buy is called Future Shop. They're, like, literally the exact same company. They're owned by Best Buy, and then our, like, GameStop doesn't have a pink 3DS XL, so I'm like, I can hold off. I don't want the black one. Everyone wants the black one. I want the pink one.
All right. Wait. Do the America sell the black 3DS XL?
Yeah, they have it.
They have it. Really? Because I remember they didn't sell them like a few months ago. A friend of mine, I don't know if you know him, Satchbags on YouTube.
I've watched some of his stuff, yeah. I know of him. I don't know. We've never talked.
No, well, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He was streaming when he bought a Japanese 3DS XL in which had the black color, And what he did was he changed the motherboard from the American XL, which was like red. He thought it looked like a child's calculator. So he grabbed a motherboard from the American XL and put it into this Japanese one just so he could have the black color.
And now they sell it here.
And now they sell it. But he succeeded, though. There were a lot of times where it was like, oh, shoot, and everyone... He was in a Skype call with me and some of our friends. And as soon as he said, like, oh, shoot, everyone was like, what happened? Did you break it? But he didn't. He succeeded, and now he has a Black 3S XL, which are apparently sold in stores now.
Yeah, and wouldn't it be like a lot more expensive to buy 2 3S XLs and then
Well,
and
Now
then
he
just
has-
change the motherboard?
yeah.
That's like a
Because-
$400 project instead of a $200
Yeah.
purchase.
I'm gonna ask him how he feels right now since they sell them in stores now.
Yeah, they at the very least have them in Canada because I
Mm.
saw one the other day at the store.
I think I think they sold them in Canada already, but they didn't in America.
Hmm.
For some reason. I
That
don't
would
know.
be very strange. That's very much like Canada has a Wii, a version of the Wii that came out like 6 months ago
yeah.
that no one else has. And it's just like tiny and red
Yeah,
and has
dude.
no features.
What is it called? Mini
It's
Wii?
like the Wii Mini.
Wii Mini.
Yeah. And it's
odd.
like $100. So it's like, I don't know why you released this. Like the original Wii, not very big.
not very big and not too expensive either.
Yeah,
Canada
they're
demand.
$100.
Yeah. Why get a Wii Mini?
So it's like it's just a very strange release, especially when you have like the Wii U as fully backwards compatible. So it's like
Yeah.
you could buy a Wii U or you could buy a regular Wii. So let's just release a new SKU.
Yeah. Oh man. I had to buy I didn't have to buy I had to trade in my old Wii because it stopped reading discs. It only read like GameCube discs. But I wanted to buy Skyward Sword. And it didn't work on the Wii, so I was like well, just take it to the store, see what's wrong with it. And that's what exactly was the fault. He couldn't read Wii discs. So what I had to do, I had to get a used Wii and trade it in with my older one. And it worked. I inserted the disc, the Skyward Sword one, and it turned out that I didn't like the game.
Oh, Skyward
Um,
Sword was not that good. It was kind of a disappointment.
It was, yeah. I mean, I can't really tell. I haven't played a lot of it.
It's like
to
just too
come up with an
linear.
argument.
It's like
I get
strangely
it.
linear. Even the dungeons are like very straightforward.
Yeah. I only played one dungeon. I was on my way to the second one, but holy shit. The things you had to do like before you get into the dungeon was so tedious. So I want to keep on playing just so I can come up with an argument of why I don't really like it.
Yeah, and
But-
it's like it's a Zelda game. Like Zelda's so much a legacy
Yeah.
that if you really like it, like at least the old ones, like you just play through the new ones, even though they're
Nah,
bad.
I'm a huge Zelda guy as well. Like I have fucking Bible itself, and
Yeah.
and
That's a good point.
yeah, and I don't know, Skyward Sword is just so clunky.
Yeah, the controls are not that good.
Yeah.
The thing, I have hope for motion control though. I have a Wii U, and the motion control on that is like really good. It's even improved. I haven't played Skyward Sword on it, but other games that I've played that have motion controls for the Wii, they're like a little better in the emulation on the Wii U, which is a little bit impressive. And then like the Zelda minigame in Nintendo Land, which is like the pack-in title.
Yeah.
the controls for that are really accurate. Like they feel 1-to-1. So like the movements just is really nice because you move like an appropriate amount of distance, and it picks up like more subtle movements like twisting your hand and stuff.
That's cool.
So it's like just a lot better.
Yeah. I wish that Skyward Sword had that.
Yeah, and so I have actual hope for like a good Zelda game that has motion control on the Wii U. Like it's a possibility, just because very much like the Kinect, Wii motion controls are kind of like hindered by the console and not by the controller. Like the Kinect does a lot of amazing things when you hook it up to a PC that can actually process like all of the data that's coming in from the Kinect. But the Xbox is just too old and too slow to do it well.
That's true.
So, but like you hook it up to a PC and people are doing like 3D modeling in like real space in front of them. And like just all this crazy stuff. But then you go onto an Xbox and it can't even like pick up basic movement.
Silly Xbox.
But apparently the new Kinect and the new Xbox really good.
Really?
Actually, yeah, like it actually picks up multiple people standing in front of it, and it doesn't lose you. The like field of view is way wider on the Kinect, so you can stand closer to it, and you can also like move further over to the side, so you can fit more people in front of it, and basically, like it's a lot better apparently, according to like everyone who used it at like E3 and other places.
Now they just have to make some good games for it.
Yeah, that's gonna be the challenge. What do you make that's not Just Dance? Like
Just Dance and Kinect Sports. Damn you,
Kinect Sports
Rare.
was terrible. Barely worked. My friend has a Kinect. We all make fun of him. Like worst purchase you could ever make, and they're expensive.
Yeah. How much was the Kinect when it came out?
I think they were like $150.
Shit.
Something like that. They were not a cheap peripheral.
I'm gonna keep
like they
on
cost
playing...
as much as a new Xbox.
I'm gonna keep on playing my iToy play.
Yeah.
If anyone remembers that.
Fucking iToy. They were always terrible. They never worked well.
It worked well for me. The funny thing is, I played it when how long was it ago? Like 10 years ago. I was still a child, and I had this like sword toys, and for some reason the iToy camera would read those toys really, really well. So if you play the game where the ninjas just like jump on you, and you have to like punch them off the screen, you can just use the sword and be like, and they would just fly away. It was pretty funny to use those toys.
So I played a fucking crazy game this week. I played Audio Surf 2.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
You guys know Audio Surf?
Yeah,
By any
I
chance?
know. I haven't played it though.
Audio Surf
the
was
first.
so good. I played so much of that back in the day when it like came out. That game's like 8 years old by now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it
Wow.
came out like a long time. Well, probably not 8 years old. Probably like 6. I'm just trying to remember things.
Yeah.
But the new one is totally different than the original game, but it's so good. Like, for example, you actually surf now. But you're like wakeboarding behind two boats that pull you along, and you like collect blocks between the two boats to like build a score multiplier. And then when you hit like a big drop in the music, you like go into the wake and do like a huge fucking jump and do like all kinds of crazy tricks and shit. And then you land, and then you try to build more score multiplier and do more crazy tricks. Like the game is really good for an alpha. Like it's on Steam Early Access right now, and it's like $15, but it's still an alpha. The actual gameplay is there. The graphics are pretty much there. The menus aren't. That's pretty much what's missing. Like the menus are fucking awful, and like the loading screen, it pops up and it's like loading in just like Times New Roman, like just white text on the screen, and there's like a big like box where there would be a picture, but there's no picture.
Can you use your music, or is it like
it's all your music? That's the whole like selling point to audio surf.
I just didn't know if like they had selected tracks just for like the beta that you can only play. But...
no, because building the engine to like generate the tracks is probably the first thing that you need to do. So, because like that's the whole selling point of the game. So there's like if you can't get that to work well, there's no point in building like game modes. But it works with network drives now, which is nice. Well, it kind of works with network drives only because Windows 7 added like Linux style file linking, so you can just like create a file that links to your network drive so that you can like actually play your music off of your network drives instead of downloading all your music to your hard drive every time you want to play the game, which was always like a huge pain in the ass because like I keep my music on a network drive and I wasn't like so many indie games that are like music based won't find them, so it's just like fuck.
Oh well, yeah.
But that game's just like crazy good. It generates the tracks really well. It works with something that's not electro, which is nice. Like, because the first one generated tracks really well with electronic music, but like you put in like death metal, and it would just be like a straight downward line. It's like this is a really interesting track. But now it like finds the more like subtle shifts, I guess. Like it finds tempo shifts and stuff and like generates the track based on those rather than just like beats.
No, it's cool. I want to try it out. I never played the first one. So
the first one is basically like a bunch of puzzle modes. There's one where you like just try when there's only like one color of block and you try to like collect all the blocks while avoiding like the gray blocks, which were like they were like negative blocks. You hit them and they would basically reduce like your ability to combo within your like. Okay, so you have like a grid basically. I'll try to actually explain this from the start, but you have like a grid and there's like you have 3 rows or 3 columns and they go up 5 times. So the columns have like a height of 5 and you try to collect blocks and put them in the column and try to put like as many of them as possible. And there's colored blocks and there's gray blocks. The gray blocks would fall into the column, but they couldn't be destroyed. And if you like hit too many, then you would lose.
Okay.
And then there was another one. It was like Pusher, where there's a bunch of different colored blocks. You try to like organize them as you collect them into like chunks. Kind of like how in Tetris, like you try to create like lines.
Yeah.
This is like try to create lines of the same color.
Oh, okay.
And then the new game mode that they added for Audio Surf 2 is just like nothing like what was in Audio Surf 1. Like it is not a puzzle mode at all. It's like an action game practically. And then they have a really cool modding system in this one. You can import your own models and stuff, and you can edit any files in the game that you want, so you can make your own game modes and then upload them to like the Steam Workshop. So there's someone who made like a runner, like a running game where like you just jump over stuff and you duck under stuff, and the position, the like placing of the obstacles is based on the music that you load in, and then it's like 4-player like local co-op, which is pretty like it's a really simple game mode and it's not that fun, but it wasn't there before. Like someone just modded that in.
Yeah.
So the potential is there to make something like. Have you ever played Bit Trip Runner?
Nope.
Do you know what it is?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, there's the potential there to like make Bit Trip Runner like a game very much like it, but based on your own music rather than pre-designed levels that go with the music.
Oh yeah,
like, there. So like that's a really cool and interesting idea, to make like a music game, but just give everyone like the engine basically that generates track, like give everyone the algorithm that generates stuff based on the music that you load in, and then let people make game modes off of that.
That's cool.
So the game has a lot of potential within its modding community, but obviously, like, we'll have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I want to check it out. I'm gonna check it out, definitely.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to do a video about it this week, but we'll see. It's very much like a timing thing. Also, it's kind of hard to think about how you would do a video where the game is all about music and then you not ruining that experience. Because it's like, do I just talk over all of the music?
I don't know how I would have done it.
I think I'm just gonna do like a first impressions video, like Total Biscuit style, where I just play the game and talk over it. Because I don't think there's like any other good way to do that. Because it's like, how do you do like a 10-minute video talking about a game where all 10 minutes of it is like you listen to music?
Wouldn't that be like pretty distracting to yourself? Like you have to talk over while you're playing at the same time.
It's a skill I've been working on because yeah, it's really hard. It's not fucking easy. I'll like record the video 4 or 5 times because I'll like be playing the game and trying to like commentate over it and try to say like specific things about the game, and then I'll start rambling and saying the same thing like 5 times in a row and I'm like, fuck, start over, just like close down the game, like delete all my recordings. It's like, gotta do it again. Because like normally I do like reviews, not like comedy style reviews. But I'll do like a review and it's kind of like all of the, it's scripted obviously, like I just write down what I want to say and then I say it, and that's easy to do. Playing the game and coming up with like what you want to say, or like forming it at least, like live, not so easy.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. Swedish. You may have noticed I don't speak so fluently like I do with my videos, because they're scripted and I just read off them when I record them. But now I just have to speak fluently, and it's different. So I have a little like handicap when it comes to like talking.
Yeah, it's talking well is not an easy thing when it's like not scripted. Like you see people give amazing speeches, but it's like, well, they practiced it. Like that's why it's good.
Yeah.
General like, conversation is usually pretty shit.
Playing a game, playing a game, you need to have the skills to talk over it and actually say some like good things.
Something meaningful,
right? And that's one problem I will have. And then the other problem is coming up with the right words, since I'm not American or English or anything like that. So I have to think like, oh, what's the word for that word? Okay, I know what it's called in Swedish, but I don't know what it's called in English. Anyway, like that. So it's difficult for me. So that's why I must script my stuff. Otherwise, it won't work.
Do you want to jump into some news?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, what's the first thing here? So, Valve did a demo of their new controller this week.
A demo.
Yeah, they. So Valve is releasing like a small living room PC.
Yeah.
And they have a controller that they're releasing with it, and the controller, instead of having joysticks, has trackpads where you put your thumbs.
Wait, what? I didn't see that.
I'll link it to you on Skype. So they have like trackpads where the joystick goes, and the reason why they want to do that is to try to like recreate a mouse and keyboard kind of movement. And so there's it's interesting because the games they showed are games that aren't particularly good with traditional controllers. And then also they showed like they played Portal 2 and they showed off how like instead of it being velocity based when you're moving your thumbs. So like when you look around with a joystick, it like the speed that you move is based on how far you pull the joystick over to the edge of the ring. But in this, instead of being about that, it's a one-to-one movement like a mouse. It's positional based, not velocity based. So you move, so like you keep moving your thumb over and you keep like spinning in a circle in that direction, which is just like how a mouse works. Yeah. And then the game that they played after that is and then on the left-hand side for movement, they just like split the trackpad into like a pie shape, like a D-pad. So directly up on the trackpad is just forwards, down on the trackpad is backwards, diagonally up to the left is like diagonal to the left.
Yeah.
And so like they just split that based on your thumb position on the trackpad, it would move you. And then with the right trackpad to look, it was a one-to-one movement like a mouse rather than like a traditional joystick.
Wow. I didn't know that.
And then the game that they played after that was Civilizations.
Oh.
Which worked. It looked like it worked well because that game would never work with a controller because like it's impossibly hard to move a cursor.
I played Battlefield Middle Earth 2 on Xbox 360. I tried it and I was like, no.
You can't move a cursor with a joystick. Like it doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah, it's like Halo Wars, for example. That also. I never played it, but my friend did, and he's a big Halo fan, and he says how much he like freaking hates Halo Wars.
Yeah, I've never played it, but same thing. I have a friend who's big into Halo, and he said it was like the worst game he'd ever played. But they played Civ, and it worked really well because once again, it's a trackpad, so it has a one-to-one movement on it. So it's based on how far you move your thumb, not on your thumb's position.
Yeah.
And then they played Counter-Strike after. And the guy, it looked okay. The guy wasn't particularly fast with it, but he was way more precise and accurate than if you were like just using a regular joystick. Like, it doesn't look as good as a mouse and keyboard, but it looked better than like a traditional controller.
I think that just kind of takes some time too, because like Portal, you don't have to be precisely accurate. If you get it on the wall kind of near where you want, it's usually good. I mean, there's some puzzles that actually need to be in a correct spot, but I think with time with that controller, you can probably get pretty decent though. I was pretty surprised with it.
Yeah, it looked like actually good. And then Edward McMillan, the guy who did Super Meat Boy, he said that the controller was actually like good. It worked well, even with Super Meat Boy. And he said that like you can't play that game with a keyboard and mouse. So even though I would debate that, I played it with a keyboard and mouse and it was good. So
yeah.
But it's an interesting controller because like it's such a big leap away from every other controller ever since like DualShock.
Yeah.
Because everyone's just used a joystick like for the last 20 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Or pretty much like 15 years, whatever. And now Valve is like, yeah, we're going to try to make a better controller, and it's nothing like any other controller on the market.
That's weird.
And like even the button position is weird. Like the buttons, like on the Xbox and on the PS3, the buttons are like all next to the right joystick, but in this they're like in the middle next to the trackpads.
Wow, really? That's odd.
Yeah, it kind of. I was thinking about that. Like, it just seems like you don't have a lot of buttons near your thumb, so it kind of makes some games more difficult than others. But I don't remember. Do they have 2 triggers on
They
each
don't
side?
have
Or...
triggers. They have like touchpads.
Oh, they actually have triggers.
I don't know. I don't have a picture here. I can't remember what the bottom looks like, but they have it on their like Valve site. But it's an interesting controller, and I want one, or well, I don't want to own one because I have a 360 pad and other like which works perfectly fine for like fighting games and games that you use controllers for. And then other than that, like at my PC, I have my keyboard and my mouse. So
Yeah, exactly.
but I still want to try using one because like it seems like a totally different experience than what the controller offers now.
Yeah. I can understand that. Although I don't think I will spend my money on that thing because I'm happy with what I have.
I think it's aimed at like a completely different market than who already owns PCs because like it's made for playing PC games in the living room where you don't necessarily want to have a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
Because the way that the controller works, it has like a legacy mode where it tells the system that it's a keyboard and a mouse, and then just like but it's not, obviously. Like it tricks the system into thinking it's a keyboard and a mouse, and then you just set up bindings on it.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see a demo because like a couple weeks ago they announced this controller, but like didn't show it in action, basically, to the point where it's like, this could be potentially the worst thing ever. Because like no one likes trackpads.
Yeah.
I don't like them. But who knows? Maybe it'll become a good thing.
So there's one other big announcement from this week. Square Enix announced a new like crowdfunding initiative called The Collective. So what it is that you can go on to like, as an indie developer, you can register yourself as part of the collective and then like pitch a game based on an Eidos IP, like Thief or Hitman or Deus Ex. Even though they're probably not going to let you do Deus Ex, Thief, or Hitman because they're doing those games. But or Tomb Raider because they also own that. But once again, they're making Tomb Raider games, so they probably won't let you do Tomb Raider games.
I have a pretty obscure game by Eidos.
Yeah, what is it?
Get it. Let's see. Come on. Let's. I think it's published by Eidos though. Yeah, I think so. It's Blood Omen 2.
I've heard of all the Blood Omen games. I didn't play it.
Yeah. I can't say if this is obscure or anything, but to me, it's pretty obscure.
It wasn't like a hugely popular game, but it still like had enough, I guess, visibility that like I've definitely heard of it.
Yeah, it's pretty weird game. I think it was published by Eidos. It wasn't developed by them. This was before the time Eidos got bought up.
But the idea is basically like you can pitch a game based on an Eidos, like an approved Eidos IP, and then the community like votes what games they want to see get made, and then Square Enix will like consult with you about how much it would actually cost to make the game that you pitched if it like gets approved. And then they'll help you like crowdfund on Indiegogo to raise enough money to actually make the game.
It's a neat idea. So basically, we're gonna see a legit version of Just Cause 2 multiplayer. That's what I want to see.
I don't know if you're gonna see that. I'm doubtful that you'll see that.
Yeah, I am too. But it gives me hope.
They haven't released what IPs you're allowed to work with yet. And last night, I decided that I would look through all the Eidos IPs, but there's not a lot of them that I think that they would let you work with. Because, like, so many of them are active franchises or are, like, being rebooted. Like, Thief is being rebooted next year, so they won't let you make a Thief game, even though the Thief game you make will probably be better than the one that they keep showing. And then Deus Ex is, like, another Eidos IP, but they won't let you do that because they just announced a ton of shit for Deus Ex. And then Tomb Raider, they're actively making those. Hitman, they're making Hitman games. So it's like, they probably won't let you make Hitman games either, even though you'll probably make a better one than Eidos did. And then, like, other than that, they don't have a lot of other IPs. They have Backyard Wrestling.
Yes.
Wait, so indie Backyard Wrestling.
Is this strictly just Eidos IPs, or
yeah, you're not. It's not for Square Enix IPs. It's for Eidos ones. Which is like a really strange thing because Square Enix has like a much bigger backlog of IPs. So it's weird that they wouldn't just let people work with those because some of them are never going to come back.
Maybe they're just like testing the water to see how this actually goes, and maybe they'll expand it in the future.
Maybe we'll see. Like, Square did Chrono Blade, right? Or Chrono Trigger?
Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see like a new Chrono game and a new like Secret of Mana.
That would be cool. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that would be. It would be cool to see those take like a more modern perspective.
Yeah. Like everyone wants to see it.
And there's demand for that. There's JRPGs that are being made by guys who did like Chrono Trigger into Secret of Mana that are being like kickstarted that have like updated mechanics basically, and they look really cool and people are like really excited about them. But Square Enix would never like do a proper JRPG again.
Oh. Well, we'll get Final Fantasy 15, which will be an action.
It looks like a third-person action game.
Yeah, wasn't it because
actually it looks like it has the same combat system as Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, because it was the same guy working on it.
Yeah.
When it was called Versus 13.
I don't know how I feel about like bringing the main franchise like off of the turn-based system.
To me, I think it's about time, because turn-based RPGs on like stationary home consoles, like it can bore some people out. Because well, look at Pokemon for example. It's turn-based, but it's mostly handheld. And whenever they release a Pokemon game on a home console, like a GameCube or Wii or whatever,
they just released a new
too much
Pokemon
praise.
game. They did like Pokemon Rumble U.
Yeah,
which is actually not like bad. I bought it because I had like a bunch of credit.
I'm not saying they're bad, but they're not.
They're not like the same. They're totally different things. Like the only Pokemon game that I can think of that's like turn-based that's on a console is like Pokemon Arena or whatever, Stadium,
where they had like that into it.
But that one was different. I played Pokemon Colosseum on a GameCube.
Yeah,
and it was pretty. I
had Stadium for N64. It was fucking sick. You could plug your Game Boy into it and play Pokemon on the TV. It was so awesome.
Yeah. But that was like a mini game collection pack, pretty much. That one. But it was mostly for like it. Well, you could use your Pokemon from Red and Blue, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and like put them into the game and like use them in like battles against the computer or against other people.
I have Pokemon Stadium 2, but not the first one. I have the box for the first Pokemon Stadium, but I don't have the game.
Just buy the game on eBay for like $20.
It's not that expensive here if you buy it out of like eBay.
I need to I got an N64 again a few months ago.
Cool.
I should probably buy that game. But I
It's
also
my
got a
favorite
Genesis,
system.
and I want to get fucking Jesus, what is it? There's an old Genesis game. It's a Spider-Man Venom game. I can't remember what it's called. There's Carnage in there somewhere, and I just want to play that game because it was so fucking like. I love that game as a kid, even though I know it's bad. Like it's just one of those games that I like really like.
Well, I'm trying to like collect as many games as I can. I want to buy like I don't have an SNES, which I hate myself for. No, I hate my brother because of it, because he gave it away to a friend of his like 20 years ago.
Oh,
And I'm still mad at him. Even though I was like a, I don't know, 4-year-old child, I still hate him for what I did. So I'm trying to find an SNES with a bunch of games on it. It was my baby. But yeah, I have the N64, which is still my favorite system. I don't have a Genesis.
I grew up on Genesis, so it's always going to be my favorite system.
Yeah.
Even though everyone's like, dude, SNES. I'm like, man,
Dude,
Sonic games.
Sonic.
Sonic. Gotta go
Sonic.
fast.
Go fast. Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah, I need to start collecting games again. It's
Is it?
such an expensive hobby though to like collect retro games.
It's true.
Because like the good ones, the ones that like you really loved as a kid, they're always expensive.
Yeah. I guess you could just go for like these garage sales, and because they usually don't have any idea what they are selling especially when it comes to games.
Yeah.
So you can, I don't know. I know a friend of mine who got Earthbound with the box and strategy guide for like, I don't know, too little.
Not $600.
Exactly. And he has it displayed in the background of his videos on his like shelves, and like, fuck you.
Earthbound's so expensive.
It's yeah.
Oh
Gosh
Jesus!
darn.
I'm on eBay right now, and I just found a brand new, still sealed copy of Pokemon Stadium 2 for $400.
Wow.
I think they're over asking. I'm not sure,
Yeah,
but I think they're over asking.
I can find one for $9.
Oh, I can find tons of copies for way less, but not sealed.
Sure.
I don't get the big deal over still being sealed. So there's one last piece of news that has me excited, at least.
Uh-huh.
So The Witcher, a video game I very much love, a franchise I love really, is getting a comic book series this year to fill in some more story stuff.
Huh. That's cool. I played a little of the second one.
The second one is a lot better than the first one, gameplay wise.
That I know. Yeah.
Which is like why I recommend it, because the second one also does like a good job of filling you in on what happened in the first one.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of picked up with it. I didn't play all of it. I didn't play much of it either, but I liked the gameplay.
They improved that. Did you play the director's cut, or did you play it like before they released that, because it was basically like it was a patch that they released where they changed like some of the they fixed some of the voice acting and like changed the mechanics a little, but and they added some more story stuff, and they basically made you re-download the entire game because they couldn't patch it otherwise. So it was like so it was basically an 8 gig patch.
Huh. I don't remember. I don't remember which one I played.
They released it like it was free as a patch. They just released it like a year or so after it came out. Like they released it alongside the Xbox version of the game.
Yeah.
But
I knew there were boobies and butts.
there are boobies and butts, but they're classy boobies and butts. They're not
classy boobies and butts.
Well, they're prostitutes, some of them, but they're handled like a classy way. It's handled maturely. It's not childlike.
Mature might be the better word.
Mature is definitely the better word. Classy does not really describe prostitutes, but well, some of them maybe. I don't know. I don't get prostitutes a lot, so I wouldn't know.
But if you did, they have to be classy.
They would have to be super classy. I'm a classy guy getting prostitutes. Escorts, really. At that stage, they're called escorts. I know that much. Dig myself in a hole. But I love that game. Like the story for The Witcher is just really excellent, and like the world is really interesting. And so I'm excited to have them kind of like fill in some more stuff. The comics are going to be about like him hunting monsters, not about him dealing with like some crazy political situation like he does in the games.
Yeah.
He's like, I have to save the kingdom and find a new king and like kill this assassin. And that is not the case.
Yeah.
In these comics, it's going to be like, I have to kill these monsters. I think that's going to be a really great comic series.
That's cool. I don't know how much they have shown of the third one.
They've shown quite a bit. They showed some actual gameplay footage. They've shown a ton of screenshots from the game. They've shown off. They had a great teaser trailer where they showed him like sailing, which was actual gameplay. Because one of the big parts of the game is like traveling by sea. But unlike the Wind Waker, where you travel by sea, but will certainly most definitely not die from the elements, this was some pretty nasty seas.
Oh,
like you could get knocked off your boat, drown, or freeze to death. So,
yeah, that's not the Wind Waker I know.
Yeah, I don't like. I'm playing the Wind Waker right now on Wii U because they just released the HD version, and I've never beat Wind Waker. I played it when I was younger, did beat it, but and I'm not even sure why. Like I enjoyed the game, I just didn't beat it. But
and now you have a second chance.
Now I have a second chance. I can redeem myself.
Yeah, I want to play it as well. I don't have a Wii U. I want one though.
It's
considering I'm
starting to get like to be worth it.
Yeah, it was the same about the 3DS.
Like the 3DS release, there was nothing to play.
No, the only thing you had was like, I don't know, Ocarina of Time 3, but it's a remake.
Mario 3D World.
Mario 3D Land.
Oh yeah,
it came
Land.
World
Mario comes out like this year.
I really like that game. A lot of people like still see. A lot of people still see it like as a. It's like new Super Mario Brothers. It's nothing new, but I thought it was lots of new stuff in it. Like
yeah, it is not the new Super Mario Brothers.
It's not, and people say like they use the same thing over and over again.
It's a mechanically different game.
It's
3D.
Yeah, it's 3D, and the platforming is. I like the platform. It's really
like
fun. Sure, it's easy as hell, but it's fun.
Yeah. I'm excited for 3D Worlds because that comes out on Wii U this winter.
I tried it at PAX Prime. It's I don't know. The cat suit is pretty fun to use, and I bet you saw the trailer.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer.
Yeah, wow, that's what I thought when I saw it. Because when we played, it was like typical green platforms with, I don't know, grass on them, like every other Mario game. But now when you saw the trailer, it was like lots of different stuff, and
yeah, I feel like the demo that they probably showed was probably like the first level or something like that. Just because it needs, the thing about demos is that it needs to be easy enough to get people through quickly.
Yeah, it's true.
And so you can't like throw something totally new at them, or else they'll just fuck it up for an hour and then no one else will get to play. So like you have to throw like the base, like the most basic version of the game at them, and that's probably hitting blocks and running around on green platforms.
Yeah.
Not dying to Goombas.
Yeah.
But like the Wii U actually has games on it now. I bought mine last year, or well, yeah, I guess I've owned it for about a year. But I bought it because I wanted Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter wasn't out until this year, but I was like, I'm gonna want that system. And they did price drop before Monster Hunter came out, so it didn't matter. So I played, like, Monster Hunter is pretty much all I play on my Wii U, at least consistently, because that game's just so amazing.
Yeah. And I never play. I do have the first Monster Hunter, but I barely played it.
Monster Hunter 3U is probably the best version of Monster Hunter I've ever played, because the online works really, really well. And so it makes it really enjoyable to play, unlike Monster Hunter 3 for the Wii, which was frustrating because the online was poop. They closed they closed the online for Monster Hunter 3 like a week after Monster Hunter 3U came out. They're like, the Wii U version is out, we're closing the servers.
Wow.
I was like, no one uses these because they're awful. It was like almost unplayably bad. Okay, here's the issue that Monster Hunter 3 had when trying to play with friends. You couldn't find them. Like, you couldn't find their server. There was no easy way to do it. In this, like, you just add them as a friend on, like, your Wii U, and then it finds them, and it's glorious. But on Wii, it's like, you have their friend number, and you still can't find them because the game doesn't use them. So it's like, I have to search through all of these servers across the whole world, and then find the goddamn room that they're in on the server. It's like, terrible.
Silly.
You'd have to, like, phone your friend and be like, where are you? Like, what server are you playing in?
Also, we were turning about the online mode for Smash Brothers Brawl, and even if you got it working, there were barely any modes. You could only play like 2-minute brawls, and it would lag. It would lag a lot.
That sucks. I never played it online, so
yeah, you had to like I think not only did you have to you had to send them the code, like a friend, not the original Wii friend code, but you had to send a friend code that you had for your game, and then your friend had to send his code from the game, and then you could connect and become friends on the friends list in Brawl. And you start to play, and you can only play 2-minute Brawl matches, and yeah, that's about it. That's the only thing you could do.
That's retarded.
Sure, you can set on like no items and war whatever, but that's about it.
But there's still that 2-minute limit.
So yeah, like, you can't play with stocks or anything else. It's only 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes.
That is incredibly lame.
It was lame, and that's pretty much why nobody
Hopefully they
bought
don't
it.
do that with the new one.
Well, considering that Monster Hunter 3 had a great multiplayer on Wii U, I must fix it for.
Yeah, they just released a system
It's-
update actually for the Wii U that fixed a lot of online connectivity stuff.
Hmm.
You can like phone your friends through the Wii U and then go into a game and not have it just close the call, which is nice.
Oh.
Now that the game everyone has a gamepad and the gamepads have actually good mics in them, you can actually talk to people, which is nice. Especially in Monster Hunter, when you have to communicate and try to organize because they're gigantic fucking monsters killing you. Because like
Yeah.
in that game you can have like there's support roles. People can play like a healer or like someone who buffs people.
Yeah.
So you need to like communicate with them. And you also need to communicate like how you're gonna lay down traps and who's gonna like tranquilize the monsters and stuff. But on the Wii, like there's no way to communicate that. So you just do your thing and hope that they don't do the same thing and waste a bunch of resources.
Yeah. Oh man, I need to get the money for the Wii U. I'm planning on going to Magfest. So I have to save up my money. So I can't get the Wii U yet.
That is a long way to go from Sweden.
I was at PAX Prime, which is like on the other side of the globe for me.
Yeah.
So
I live like an hour away from where they host
Yeah.
PAX Prime. So
yeah,
and I still couldn't go because I couldn't get a goddamn ticket.
yeah,
Not happy about that.
problem. Yeah, I had to go buy it from eBay. It was pretty expensive, but I just wanted to go, so
Yeah. Next year I will stay up. Okay, here's why I couldn't get a ticket. I checked every day. Well, every couple days I would check, and like I would check like the Penny Arcade site and stuff. They basically didn't announce when they were gonna do sales, and I just didn't check early enough in the day, so I couldn't buy a ticket.
that sucks.
Because like I got in the queue, but by the time that I got like, when they're like, you're gonna wait another 20 minutes, like everyone was announcing that they were sold out. So I was like, well, fuck it. Like I don't want to buy a ticket for like Saturday and Monday because that's like that's stupid.
Yeah, it is.
So hopefully they do it better this year and weeks beforehand say this is when we are selling tickets.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
then you can actually buy them.
Oh well. Yeah. I had what was it? Like most of my friends who I went there with, they had media passes. So, and they got that, like Polaris. And
I
so
highly considered trying to get a media pass because I know some people who like had a bunch of media passes because they have a company that like was going. And I was like, I have a proper camera and microphone. I can work for you if you give me a pass. But then I didn't because I thought it would be awkward. Mostly because I haven't talked to them in like forever. And I haven't done like work for them in forever too. So I was like, hey, I haven't talked to you in 9 months about work. Want to give me some?
Yeah, I don't know when the point is for me where I can ask for media passes.
Yeah,
I
feel like
I just sign up with a network now, and they're gonna be at MagFest, so I don't know if I'm gonna do some stuff with them.
yeah. Who'd you sign with?
Screenwave.
I have not heard of them.
No, they just started, and basically, what can I say about it's the guy who started Screen. I think that he was the guy who started Screen. He is part of Cinemassacre.
I know who Cinemassacre is. They do what was it that they did? That's like AVGN, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
When he said Cinemassacre, initially I was like, Red Letter Media. It's like, that's not that is not the same person.
no,
Those are completely different things.
No, he works on those. I think he works on the AVGN episodes, but he started this network, and they reached out to me, so I signed up with them, and they're a lot of awesome people. So yeah.
Well, hopefully that works out well for you.
Thank you.
I think it's about time that we wrap up. I think we've talked about pretty much all of the news. Because nothing happens ever. Because we're a month away from new consoles. So no one's doing anything. It's like, why aren't you doing anything, gaming industry?
Lol, nope.
I'm a little scared for when the consoles launch. I think there's gonna be some craziness. I think someone's probably gonna get shot in the United States on Black Friday over a console. That would make sense because I mean that shit's happened before.
Yeah.
I think people are gonna get shot at launches because that has also happened before. I'm excited to see what kind of crazy violence happens in that country.
Well, I'm not going to be at a launch.
I'm also not going to go to any launches because
So I'm not
I
gonna
have
risk.
no interest in these consoles.
I'm not gonna risk my
Yeah, I
life.
don't want to get shot
I don't want to get.
You don't want to get stabbed or shot
or trampled.
or beaten.
The three worst things that could happen.
I still
It's
wish that I
so-
could go and buy an Xbox One day one and just like smash it in the parking lot, just to make people really mad.
Didn't people do that? And when Wii and 360 and
Yeah,
PS3
there's always someone who does it and puts it on YouTube, so
yeah.
I'll just experience it that way. I wish I had set like $600 to just waste.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be so fun.
Think
Try and
about-
do it now. We just break a Nintendo Wii in front of an. I don't know. No, you should get a 360. Go to the Xbox One launch and just throw it into the fucking ground and see how many people cares.
Probably no one.
They'll
Because
do
they're
it.
like $150 now.
Yeah.
Like with a bundle. Actually, shit, that's what happened. Mad Catz announced that they're doing like an Android console. Do you know what the Ouya is?
Yeah.
It's basically the Ouya that like they're releasing their own version of it. And I was like, that's not like a bad idea because like it's like a more reputable brand. It just runs a standard version of Android, so you can run anything on Android that runs on it. Like you can run anything on it that runs on Android. I was like, that's not a terrible idea. And they're like, and it's $250. I'm like, you know what you can buy for $250? You can buy a PS3 Slim and a game. What? Like, why would you buy this? Like,
Wow.
that's insane. Way to shoot yourself in the foot. Way to release a piece of hardware that probably cost you a lot of money to make for $250. Like, you can't sell that thing.
Well, no, it's not gonna work.
No, there's like almost no purpose to having Android consoles that just play Android games.
Yeah.
There's definitely no purpose to what it costs $250. Like you could buy, if I had $250, I would spend it on like a 3DS, not an Android console. I mean, because that shit's portable and has better games.
Yeah.
Craziness. I don't even understand all these Android consoles. I don't understand why they exist at all.
They shouldn't.
It's like a bunch of basically like a bunch of companies saw a Kickstarter make $9 million and they're like, there's demand for this when there's no demand for it. Like, because they got that $9 million up front, all those people got consoles like 50,000 of them or something like that, because everyone had to like pay $100,
Mm.
and fucking no one's buying any games, and they're not selling any Ouya's at retail because everyone who wanted one has one. So it's like, don't copy it. The market is completely done because there wasn't one to begin with. Like, everyone who wanted one has one.
This is
Just craziness.
it's too crazy.
All the kinds of stupid shit people do just to try to make money off video games.
Yeah.
So, I guess it is time to actually wrap up and not talk about another thing. Unless anyone has something they really want to get off their chest.
No.
No?
Nope.
Alrighty then it'll be time to wrap this. So, thank you guys for watching and or listening to the 34th episode of the Dapper Gaming Podcast. I've been your host, Ryan. With me, as always, has been Tyler. And then our wonderful guest, Dex the Swede, who you can find in places listed on the right-hand side of the screen. Or at... Where can they find you? Tell them all of the places.
They can find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, of course. That's pretty much it.
Great.
Yes.
Alrighty then. So, thank you guys for watching and or listening, and we'll see you next week.